I'm sure you've heard the news. A girl who went missing in the woods. It was all over the local channels, the search parties, the worried faces of her family, the endless nights of hoping and praying for her safe return. The woods, once a place of serene beauty, had now become a symbol of dread and mystery. But have you heard about the woman who picked her up? Sarah was driving home, the road twisting through the woods, trees looming ominously. She had taken this route countless times, but tonight the forest seemed to close in on her, the shadows deeper, the silence more profound. The radio played softly, but it did little to ease the growing tension in her chest. Her headlights caught a figure standing by the roadside, a girl in a white dress, drenched and shivering. The sight was so sudden, so unexpected, that Sarah almost swerved off the road. She slowed down, her heart pounding in her ears. Who could be out here at this hour in such weather? Concerned, Sarah stopped and rolled down her window. "Do you need help?" she called out. Her voice sounded strange to her own ears, a mix of fear and genuine concern. The girl looked so fragile, so out of place in the eerie setting. The girl looked up, eyes hollow and pleading. "Please, I lost my way," she whispered, barely audible. Her voice was like a ghostly echo, carried away by the wind. Sarah felt a pang of sympathy mixed with a strange sense of foreboding. Sarah's heart raced. No houses nearby, but she felt compelled to help. The isolation of the road, the dense fog, and the girl's desperate eyes all played on her mind. She knew it wasn't safe to pick up strangers, but something about the girl made it impossible to drive away. She opened the door. A chill swept through the car. "Where do you live?" Sarah asked, trying to ignore the unease creeping over her. The cold air seemed to carry a whisper of something ancient, something that didn't belong to the world of the living. The girl didn't answer, stared straight ahead. Her silence was unnerving, as if she was lost in a world that Sarah couldn't see. The car's interior felt colder, the air heavier, as if the presence of the girl had changed the very atmosphere. Sarah drove on, glancing at her fading passenger. The road seemed longer, the trees more twisted, as if they were watching her, judging her. She tried to make small talk, but the girl remained silent, her eyes fixed on the road ahead. Suddenly the girl pointed to a narrow path. "Turn here," she instructed, voice an eerie echo. The command was so sudden, so unexpected that Sarah almost missed the turn. The path was barely visible, shrouded in fog and darkness. Against her better judgment, Sarah turned down the dirt road lined with twisted trees. The path was narrow, the trees closing in on both sides, their branches like skeletal hands reaching out to grab her. The car's headlights flickered, casting eerie shadows that danced in the fog. Headlights flickered, air thickened with unnatural silence. The world outside seemed to disappear, swallowed by the fog. Sarah's grip on the steering wheel tightened, her knuckles white. She felt as if she was driving into another realm, a place where the living had no business being. Sarah looked over to ask the girl where they were going, but the seat was empty. Her heart skipped a beat, her breath caught in her throat. She blinked, hoping it was a trick of the light, but the girl was gone. The passenger seat where the girl had been sitting just moments ago was now vacant. Panic surged. She slammed on the brakes, heart pounding. The car skidded to a halt, the tires screeching on the dirt road. Sarah's mind raced, trying to make sense of what had just happened. Had she imagined the girl? Was it all a hallucination brought on by the fog and the darkness? Just then, her phone buzzed. It was a text from her sister. "Stay safe. There's news about a girl who went missing in these woods." The message sent a chill down her spine. The timing was too perfect, too eerie. She felt a cold sweat break out on her forehead. Trembling, Sarah looked back at the road. Through the mist, a small grave marked by a simple wooden cross. The sight was surreal, like something out of a nightmare. The fog swirled around the grave, making it look like it was floating in a sea of mist. The girl had vanished, but Sarah realized the girl wasn't asking for help. She was guiding Sarah to her own final resting place. The realization hit her like a ton of bricks. The girl was a spirit, a lost soul seeking closure. Sarah felt a strange mix of fear and sadness. She had been chosen to witness this, to understand the girl's story. The woods, once a place of dread, now felt like a sacred ground, a place where the past and present intertwined. Sarah knew she would never forget this night, the haunting ride that led her to a chilling encounter with the unknown.